The networking piece, again, like where I just started, was a little bit different, right? It's meishi culture here.
In Japan.
In Japan.
Meishi.
Yeah, meishi culture. Everything is the opposite of the United States in a sense.
Opposite.
The very opposite. For instance, meishi, business cards, we just did this. In the US, normally, again, on average, you do your meishi kokai business card trading at the end. We're hosting an event called Global Gathering, and it is specifically put a bigger version of Thursday Gathering. There's going to be sessions, there's going to be networking, there's going to be all these different things. It is an event where we are actually hosting startup pitch competitions all around the world at all Venture Café locations, plus more.
Let's get started. Yes, thank you so much for talk. So today I visited to CIC Tokyo / Venture Café Tokyo.
Yes, thank you for coming.
Yes, finally I met Taku in person. He is super popular, everyone's brother. Literally, so like real connector, like real Facebook he is. Yeah. So I'm so excited to hear about your story. So tell us about yourself. What do you do in Tokyo and also Boston?
In Boston and Tokyo. Yeah. All right. So hello again. My name is Takuo Ushihara. Everyone calls me Tak. So if you ever see me in person, feel free to call me Tak. So I started, or my team and I started Venture Café in 2018. We are a nonprofit organization that helps build communities for startups and I guess entrepreneurs. We are building one of the biggest innovation ecosystems, if you will. That's globally speaking, both in Japan, but we started over in Massachusetts, Cambridge, specifically close to MIT, close to Harvard. And our sister organization, which we are physically in today, called CIC, opened in 1999. And now Venture Café is a spin-off, spit-out, started as a nonprofit. Again, that's where I am, in 2009, over in Cambridge. Tokyo specifically, where myself and my team work. We started in 2018. We are the first global expansion for the Asian market, both CIC and Venture Café. Again, CIC for-profit, a co-working, shared office space. Feel free to come by whenever you're in Tokyo. And Venture Café, if you want to think about what we do, we're an event platform. We run events each and every week. It's called Thursday Gatherings. From Thursday, 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. here in Tokyo. We run weekly events that are catered to the entrepreneur, the startup, but we call everyone an innovator. There's an innovator inside all of us. You might work in making podcasts, but you might be an electrical engineer. We might have a talk about design thinking, the intersection of business and art. Every night is a little bit different, and therefore by coming, you get to meet people of different backgrounds. And by running it every week, we start to build culture. It's about consistency, repetition, and bringing people with diverse backgrounds here together each and every week. So my role specifically, when I first started, was operations, but right now I'm on the programming side, putting programs together that are both inspiring to everybody, things that people need to know, but also bringing in perspectives from the outside. So I currently live in Boston, Massachusetts myself. So I bring in programming, let's say, from the Boston or the US market here to Tokyo, and connect them with the Japanese ecosystem. And again, as a community builder, our job is to connect a lot of different organizations, people, things, places together, connecting innovators to make things happen. We run events each and every week, so hopefully people can come.
Yeah. Let's dive into your work, innovation scene or startup scene. From your observation, Tokyo has changed?
I think, again, consistency is the name of the game. So we've been doing it for 7 years. I can't believe it's been 7 years. Constant growth. And growth can mean so many different things. There's a lot more people in the startup scene, a lot more people who are supporting the startup scene and stuff like that. But again, it's still relatively new per se. People might bash me on that comment because, Sony was a startup, Toyota was a startup, everyone was a startup once in a while. And so we had a lot of great companies. But, this new generation of the ecosystem, if you will, compared to the rest of the world, relatively speaking, you're from California, San Francisco, Silicon Valley, a little bit different, right? And I don't necessarily think that Tokyo has to be the next Silicon Valley or the next Boston. It doesn't have to be that. But we have to get to a certain stage of this life cycle of the ecosystem where it's comfortable for people from around the world to come by and kind of do that. We're kind of building that farmland to start planting. And I think after the 5 to 6, 7 years of constant events and reaching out and building community and stuff like that, we finally come to that level of selling a platform, selling a stage, creating a place for people. And by people, I mean obviously the Japanese community, because that's who we're building it for technically in our sense, Venture Café Tokyo. But it's not just about that, right? AI goes around the world, robotics goes around, life sciences goes around the world. It's a thing that connects and lines everything together. We're at a point where we're able to welcome people from the outside and at least be able to talk with one another, communicate with one another, kind of interact with the rest of the world. And now I think we're going into a stage of where we can finally plant seeds to start growing the next or the difference maker that can hopefully make the world a little bit better.
You guys have 7 years of history, but you said still early stage. There are many big challenges, or still you guys have pain point. So maybe we could help you. So what kind of a challenge did you have, and still do you have?
Yeah, I think it's a great question, and it's a constant battle. It's a constant thing that we got to focus on. We do focus on. We have weekly meetings on it, and ever since we brought Venture Café Tokyo over, I don't know if you've ever come or you will come in the future, but we're a very more westernized event. So, for example, in Tokyo, I'm generalizing. Please don't bash me. You come to an event. Please listen to Mike talk, Kari talk, Ilya talk, myself talk, whatever it might be. You may sit, listen, and either they go home afterwards, or you may rise, koryukai, networking time, please exchange, stuff like that. So you, as yourself, get to pick what you want to do. It's your way. One of our community credos, our community guidelines is to have fun. You might listen to somebody and think they aren't what you want to hear today. That's fine. Go network, go grab a drink, go talk to people. Some people want to come listen to you talk, but they end up talking to someone else and be like, this is such an interesting conversation. I'm going to keep talking here. Happens that way. The networking piece, again, like where I just started, was a little bit different, right? It's Meishi culture here.
In Japan.
In Japan. Yeah, Meishi culture. Everything is the opposite of the United States in a sense.
Opposite.
The very opposite. For instance, Meishi business cards, we just did this. In the US, normally, again, on average, you do your Meishi Kokai business card trading at the end. Our LinkedIn, right?
LinkedIn, yes.
Yeah. Here, in the very beginning, Urushihara desu. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. Here. So again, starts in the beginning.
Yes.
Pitching for startups. Sometimes one side starts with the why. This is why I've built it. This is the problem. Here it is. And this is my solution. The other side, here's my solution. This is what I'm solving. And here's why.
Yeah.
The starting point of your pitch, depending on the person, completely different. And then it's a little bit more like driving on the different side of the street. In a sense, miles and meters, everything is different here. So if you ever come to Japan, please understand that. And we have to sell Japanese people on that too. If you go abroad, it's different. Don't think that your way is the way to do things. And I think Venture Cafe's role is to let people understand that it's not that one side or the other side is right or wrong. It's our way of showing people there's other things going on around the world. You don't have to like it. You don't have to know it. You don't have to even enjoy it. But understanding that there's something different is what's important.
I see.
So our Thursday gatherings, yes, we do really in-depth talks and, about all sorts of different matters. But the reason we bring in people of both Japanese and foreign into our Thursday gatherings each and every week is to open mindset. Our goal is to put the platform together for you to be able to come in, and you might not necessarily meet the person you want to meet that week, but again, right, consistency, building culture. So we have to build this Tokyo ecosystem, but with obviously the influence from our Boston headquarters.
Okay, we had better to wait for like long-term project because of nowadays, due to social media, many people want to get the answer so quickly. But building a community is taking time, like grassroots 草の根活動, right?
Yeah.
So, like
Movement.
grassroots movement.
Yeah.
So we have to be patient and then making community, making trust, making our brand.
There you go.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I mean, it's really about culture building. And then furthermore, we want to strive as one of the biggest multilingual, or at least bilingual Japanese and English community or innovation community there is in Tokyo, and furthermore, the rest of Japan now with Fukuoka on board and stuff like that. And the reason, again, that all ties into our mission of connecting innovators to make things happen. If our core community can speak both languages, then no matter what comes in on the outside, we should be able to do the connection with the core community involved. So our staff, mostly bilingual. CIC staff, I think they average 2.54 languages or 3 languages a person.
I see. Okay, speaking of community, so I am so interested in about your background.
Yes.
You used to be a kind of creator for sports industry. So I assume sports industry is super important for fostering a community, right? So tell us about your past story.
My background?
Yeah.
So I'm blood Japanese. I'm 100% Japanese. I own a Japanese passport, so I'm Japanese. Nihonjin desu. But I was brought up in a very global / international community. So I was born here, but then I moved to Malaysia. Did elementary school at an international school over there. And then I moved to Boston in 1996. And ever since then, middle school, high school, college, a little bit of work, grad school, all in Massachusetts and Boston specifically. And then, as you mentioned, my first job out of college was at the Boston Red Sox. And it was the World Series year. So it was 2007, 2013 when Uehara and Tazawa were also there. And our role, or my role specifically, was in the control room, if you will. The control room kind of mediates and everything, all the audio and visual things that's not baseball. So lights, sounds, camera, action, organ music, PA announcing, data, bloopers, videos, everything that you can see in here that's not the crack of the bat or the pitcher throwing the ball was all us. So my college education was focused on media production and theater and all that kind of stuff there. So, and then a little bit of business. And then moved into the Red Sox, went into that role. Had a couple of things I had to take care of for my family. So I eventually switched from the Red Sox to getting my MBA at Babson College. That's also in Wellesley. And then got my MBA, came back for a family business thing. And then actually one of my classmates, he's at Venture Café as well. And he was asking that he kind of needed help, so sure. You might see him a little bit later. He's our executive director now. But another funny thing, one of the professors at Babson was our executive director there. So there's a very deep, rich Babson bloodline. And that's, that helps out with the connection to Boston being our HQ. Babson's in Boston, Massachusetts as well. And we were able to kind of connect both sides, right? Again, we want the core community to be understanding of the both Japanese culture and the foreign English culture, American culture. So we kind of have that both and kind of get the mindset, and it helps us really kind of localize the product. But yeah, baseball was one of my first jobs out of college.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, so Taku, let's talk about your big event in February, right?
Okay,
Yeah.
putting me on the spot. So our regular Thursday gatherings each and every week, whether you're in Tokyo or Fukuoka or Boston or Warsaw or anywhere around the world, we run these events called Thursday gatherings. But as you just mentioned, in collaboration and in support with TMG, Tokyo Metropolitan Government, we're hosting an event called Global Gathering. And it is specifically put a bigger version of Thursday Gathering. There's going to be sessions, there's going to be networking, there's going to be all these different things happening. It's taking place on February 27th, Tokyo time, between 2 and 9 p.m. It might be a little bit early depending on how much things we do. But it is an event where we are actually hosting startup pitch competitions all around the world at all Venture Cafe locations, plus more. And the winners of those competitions are flying into Tokyo for the final pitch. A lot of them have been selected. If you go to look up Global Gathering Tokyo, you might be able to find them already. There's still a couple going on. And that's obviously the main dish. But as we want to, we have an opportunity to open the doors to the rest of the world. We're going to have one track of sessions that is focused on Japan immersion. So understanding what the ecosystem, talk to local industry experts, connect with the Japanese ecosystem, right? There's going to be another track called Innovation Bridge. And the bridge side is where you'll be able to find the interaction between Japan and the rest of the world, or stories from around the world. And by stories, I mean, again, industry experts and stuff like that. So we might be talking robotics and AI, but you have, potentially a mass robotics coming in, or, all these different kind of organizations from around the globe, not just Japan, not just Asia, but around the world coming into Japan. So it's going to be a one-night thing where you're going to be able to interact with not only Japan, but really people who are making the next step, potentially changing the world. It is a landing spot for these new startups that are obviously coming to Japan to show what they can do for the Japanese ecosystem as well. So we're actually going to host a career fair too. So anyone looking for jobs and you are bilingual or at least want to learn Japanese or want to learn English, we're going to be hosting career fair as well as part of it. So it should be a really interactive evening where you get to learn from people, connect with others, listen to some high quality pitches, and also potentially land a job.
I see. So as a potential participant, how can we registration for?
Yeah. So as far as registration goes, we have a website. If you look Global Gathering Tokyo, you'll be able to find it. We'll still be releasing our Venture Cafe Tokyo SNS social media things as well. But even if you don't sign up and the last day you're like, actually I want to go, please come. And all you got to do when you land is make a name tag. Again, a couple questions when you first get in and they'll get printed out. But yeah, if you can sign up, please sign up because they'll help us.
Please check it and I can put the links.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay, Tak, thank you so much for your amazing wisdom. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye. Okay. The 3 key takeaways from a conversation with Tak today. 1. Creating a space for innovators for connect and grow. For instance, imagine a startup founder from Tokyo attending a Thursday gathering and meeting an AI expert from Boston who's visiting Venture Cafe. They strike up a conversation during the event's networking session, which leads to a collaboration where the AI expert helps the founder integrate cutting-edge AI into their product. This type of interaction happens regularly at Venture Cafe, where weekly events focus on connecting people from diverse backgrounds like designers, engineers, and entrepreneurs. 2. Bridging cultural difference to build global understanding. A Japanese entrepreneur used to pitch by explaining their solution first, like here what we built. Joins a Venture Cafe session and learns that in the US, pitch often starts with the problem being solved. Here is why this matters. Similarly, while Japanese events focus on exchanging business cards first, よろしくお願いします。はじめまして。Like that. Venture Café encourages attendees to casually network over drinks. This experience helps participants adapt to global norms and better prepare for international opportunities. 3. The Global Gathering, a platform for startups and opportunities. At February's Global Gathering, startups from cities like Boston, Warsaw, and Tokyo will compete in a final pitch event after winning regional competitions. For instance, a robotics startup from Tokyo might present its innovative warehouse robot alongside a healthcare AI startup from Massachusetts, like that. The event also includes a career fair where a bilingual student looks for a job AI can meet recruits from global companies. Good opportunities. Tracks like Japan Imagine will help international attendees understand local industries, while Innovation Bridges sessions will showcase collaborations like robotics projects involving experts from both Japan and the States. Okay, thank you so much for watching our episode today. We hope our conversation will help your future and career. Okay, thank you so much. Bye bye.